Welcome to another episode of Grief Heals, the podcast where we explore how it is that grief heals us with our relationship with ourselves, with one another, and our whole wide world. I am your host, Lisa Michelle Zega, and I am excited to have another conversation. Wow, I am not quite sure how to start today. I decided to record because it's a very different day. I am sitting on the floor. I am in a room that has been emptied by a move, in a house that has also been emptied by a move. My husband and my dog and a dear friend just drove off this morning, making their way to Texas. And so when I went for a walk this morning, it was without a dog tugging at me. It's just so different. And then the weather today just seems to be matching my inward experience. It is misty. It is beautiful, but there's a light mist and a light gray. And there's something that is sprinkled like of newness and also like a shift, right? A transition. And as I walked around my neighborhood this morning, I was thinking, wow, I'm saying goodbye to a major chapter, maybe even major book of my life, in my life story. And I will be joining my husband in just 2 weeks. And yet, I feel a gravity in this loss, in this transition. And what I was thinking about was, I was thinking about the people like you, you in my mind, the you that is in a transition, and you're not going to be meeting your person. You're not going to be meeting your person in 2 weeks. And because I'll tell you what's happening to me today, I feel like I am in a fog. And though I have many tools and practices that I can utilize to shift the energy in my body and to help my experience move, become fluid, right? There's a part of me that is not ready for that. And almost a part that wants to be in this daze and experiencing the collective grief of transition, and being like, today is one of the women that I got to lead in her grieving process, just be with her, even lead. It's like I'm a guide, a facilitator, a holder of her grief. Anyway, today is the birthday of her daughter who has died. And just recognizing and remembering, it's remembering in my body, coming back to my own experience of those days where my whole life has changed. It can never, ever be the same. And I won't ever be in this life with my person, where I can touch them and hug them and feel them in that kind of way. And when I still have a bed here my official transition, just the way it's working out, all these little serendipitous synchronicities. Um, yeah, so there are some remaining items here, but so I was making the bed and I was thinking about widows and widowers who are in the same place. They are inhabiting the same environment without the same feel or flavor in that home. And wow, what is it? September? Yeah, the middle of September, and we start making our transition into the holidays that are so different when there's that empty chair. And this experience that I'm having with you, with us, with our various losses that we navigate through this journey, even the losses like the one that I'm experiencing right now, it's the loss of life the way it is, and it's transitioning into a whole new beautiful journey where I'll get to be near my mom, and I personally am going to be living like more of a nomad kind of lifestyle. Much of my work and life is here in California, and I knew that I would be leading a hybrid life soon, and it's here. But I'm thinking about how no matter what loss we're going through, whether it's a loss of transition or an actual physical loss of a loved one, it brings a very tender time in the human experience. And this particular time, when we are present to our own loss, it creates a level of vulnerability that is ripe for connection. So this morning, after my husband and dog and our friend pulled out, I felt kind of numb. And there was part of me, I felt an invitation within myself to just be alone with myself and with my experience. And I felt a tug to call a dear friend. And I chose to call the friend and then to sit with myself after, and then to record, right? When I called her, we started talking about major transitions, other times in life, and she was talking about what it was like after getting her divorce. And she'd been married for over 20 years, and she changed locations. Everything was new. It wasn't just that her environment was new, though. Her experience within herself was new. So the birds sounded different. The smells smelled different. The walk felt different. Everything was different. And that's the thing, like when they pulled out, I felt it. I felt that everything is different now. And other experiences from my history, I felt tenderized to them. I felt tenderized to people in my life that have experienced loss. I felt tenderized to our collective loss as a society, losses within our ancestry. I feel. I feel especially tender. And that is a gift. And you know what else? I felt the urge to eat. And I just realized, I was like, Lisa, if you eat right now, you can do that, sweetheart. But if you do, you won't feel. And your life is worth feeling. So I didn't eat. I didn't eat, and it wouldn't have made me bad or wrong if I did. I just knew. I just knew this was a time, this is a time to sit. And I thought I could move my body. And I could. And it would change my state. And that is a gift. And I chose not yet. Not going to move my body yet. I'm going to sit. And I'm going to feel exactly how this feels. And then I thought, well, before I engage in a state change, before I move my body, though I'm wiggling my shoulders and laughing my laugh, and all these things are changing my body, changing my experience right now. And I thought, what if I just let myself come to this recording to be with you right now, exactly as I am, and see where that goes. Because so often, the recording happens after the reflection, after the experience, after. So what I am thinking, grief is a gift because it tenderizes us to human. Like, we've all got these different human experiences. We've been raised in different families, even if we were raised in the same family. Most of us weren't raised in the same womb. And even if we were raised in the same womb, like we were developing there, the twin is not you. Your twin cannot have the identical experience, even if it's an identical twin, because each of us is unique, fashioned differently. And so our losses are not born the same, and yet there is a commonality. My girlfriend was telling me how she had a rough week, and she got together with a group of gals, and many of them had a few just difficult things happen during the week, and they were all so incredibly different. And yet there was a commonality in their human experience. And as they just allowed themselves to notice, wow, so much nuance, so much difference. And yet, this common human experience of what it's like to be in struggle or challenge, or to face disappointment or transition, the struggle of figuring out something new, and the invitation to be with what is, however it is. You all know, if you've been hanging out with me a little bit these past few weeks, that I am reading A People's History of the United States. And that's just bringing up so many thoughts, inside me of different cultures, different communities, the way we come together with our tribes, seeking to survive, right? Figuring things out. And all of our experiences are different, and it's so easy to fragment off and to disconnect and be like, those people, their problem, my people, our problems. And to be cut off from each other and from our ancestries and from what different people go through. And this allowing of what's in here, it creates a stickiness, a cohesion, a readiness to be with ourselves and to be with each other. I think this experience of recognizing if we'll be with our experience and allow ourselves to feel exactly how we feel, and recognize that there is genuinely a common human, there are more ways that we are alike than different. There are these commonalities of longing and longing to belong exactly as we are. This is why I think that grief heals, but it's not grief ignored that heals. I did feel a pull to disconnect from myself. And being in this fog, I felt a pull to disconnect from myself this morning, and just being in this fog of my experience of looking around at a brand new, empty house. It's brand new, emptied, not a brand new house. With all these little things just kind of scattered around that need to be collected, organized, disposed of, given away, whatever. This sense of something is coming to an end, something else is beginning. And my invitation to be just with myself exactly how I am, exactly how it is. And in a hurried world, it is so, so easy to disconnect from our own experience, but the cost is disconnecting from the experiences of others. And how in the world will we make a new world? Will we create something totally brand new, disconnected from ourselves and from one another? See, I have a dream. I don't know really yet what my dream is in terms of, well, I guess it's somewhat like Martin Luther King Jr.'s dream, because I really do have a dream that we could come together, that your suffering would be born as my suffering, and that my suffering would be born as yours, that we would create a world. I'm almost not even liking the word equity anymore. It's like these words, they get politicized and sanitized, and they lose the weight. We're in like this an election year. I have zero confidence in an election year. I have confidence in us as a people. How will we dream something new if all we can think about is this limited party system that we've I want to dream outside. I am dreaming outside of our current system. I am dreaming of a way where we are present to ourselves and to each other so that we can create together. And that is already happening. There is some kind of awakening that I don't even think it's brand new. Maybe it's more new for me. But there is an awakening happening to the common human experience and our need for one another, and that love really is the way. And that's how I see grief. I really, really do say that grief is like, it's not here to hurt us. It's here because we're hurting. It's here because we experience loss, and it's coming to say, let me come meet you in your place of pain. Let me bring love here. And that's our call as we enter our grief, to bring love to our collective places of pain, to bear this stuff together, to let it bind us and unwind us, bind us together. So I'm grateful. I'm grateful for this opportunity. I'm grateful for this opportunity to sit in this empty house alone, to reflect on all that this house has held for the last 6 years. The newness of my relationship with my sweet husband, the first 6 years of our marriage, or I guess the first 5 years of our marriage. I'm grateful for all the conversations that this home has held. I'm grateful for all the sleep, the arguments, the wrestling, the tears, the joy, the laughter, the dancing. Oh my goodness, the dancing in this house, the games, the recovery. So much love held here. Grief leads me to be present to what's here, to be grateful, to bring love to myself, to you, to our ancestors, to what is, to what was, and to what's to come. Thank you. Thank you for being here with me today. Thank you for letting me be here with you. Thank you for making space for the wandering, the reflection, the community, the dreaming. Thank you for doing this beautiful life with me in some kind of way, and letting me do this beautiful life with you in some kind of way. We really are all connected. We really are one great big organism. Just like this body, I can't cut off my pinky without being impacted. We can't cut off whole communities without being impacted. I can't harm one part of my body without harming the whole. And as I bring love to just one part of my body, one part that I'm going to give attention to and be with, my entire body benefits. That is the way it is. Everything matters. So if you'll take a breath with me, we breathe the same air. See if you can make the exhale longer than the inhale. Let's do that one more time together. And maybe when you inhale, hold it a little bit at the top and then exhale a little bit longer than the inhale. Let's do this together. Ready? Inhaling. Hold it at the top. Exhale a little bit longer than you inhaled. And if you are available for a hug, I am bringing my arms out nice and wide and wrapping you in and holding you close and holding me close. Isn't it cool that we get to hold while being held? Isn't that the way? All right. Mwah! I will talk with you again next week. Until then, may we give attention to our precious hearts for the healing of ourselves, each other, and this whole wide world. All right. Bye-bye.
You've been listening to Grief Heals with Lisa Michelle Zega. The podcast is produced by me, Eric Simpson, in association with Jump Up and Down Productions. Music by Candelian, Drunken Nights to Sunday Mornings, and Stefan Carlin, A Calming Ocean, A Common Notion. If you would like more information about the work Lisa does, point your browsers to legityou.com. That's LEGITYOU. Lisa can also be reached at lisamichelle@legityou.com. This has been a Jump Up and Down production.